Okay, in the last lecture we completed the leg setup and control curves for the leg. Now in this lecture we will see how we can rig our hand with forward kinematics. Now notice this is not the same file that we worked before, because I have made this hand straightened up. Now because having straight hands is very easy for us to rig, otherwise we'll have to work out a little bit more with the joint orientation. So keep in mind, whenever you're making a model, make sure that the hands are laid out straight, okay, from the top and from the front. So this will result us in creating straight joints, which will be easy for us to work with, especially when we are working with forward kinematics. So what we have to do is basically we'll create one control curve for the shoulder, one for the arm, one for the elbow, and one for the wrist. Now this wrist control will also contribute in controlling the fingers. So now let's go ahead and start creating the control curve. So I'll go ahead and create NURBS primitives circle. For the first circle I'm just going to make the size a little bigger. So radius, I'll make it 1.5. I'll try to bring it up. I'll hide the geometry. I'll turn on point snap and click here. So that brings it up there. I can rotate it 90 degrees. Okay, let me turn on the geometry and make sure that it is visible. Okay, that's good. Now I'll have to name this CC for control curve, left arm. Okay, I'll get rid of this values that are there, modify, freeze transformation, and I'll delete the history by going to edit, delete by type, history. I'll make a duplicate of this by pressing Ctrl D, and I'll move it to the next joint, keeping point snap on, click and drag. Okay, I'll again get rid of this value, and before that I just want to make this a little smaller size. I'll make it 0.8 for the scale. Modify, freeze transformation, that's perfect. And for this third control I'm going to create a custom design. I'll go to the top view, I'll turn on grid snap, and I will go to create CV curve tool. I'll open up the options, make sure that I make it linear so that it will create sharp lines. I'm going to create the shape that is similar to a hand. Okay, that looks more like a hand. I'll go ahead and select it. Okay, it's down on the ground. I'll bring it off to where I want. I have to make it smaller, and I have to bring the pivot point to this joint. So I will go ahead and press insert key and bring it here. I can turn on my point snap again, and okay, before pressing insert key I can also bring it up here. Okay, now I can select all these control curves. I can hide this. Okay, bring them a little bit up. Okay, I can make it a little smaller. Make sure that it almost fits this shape. Okay, because it is in the shape of a hand, so that it will be easy for us to select this control later. Okay, now let's get rid of this values by going to modify, freeze transformation. Good enough. So that this will help us to make all these kinds of rotations. Good. Let's make one control for the shoulder. Let me go to the front view. I'm just going to create a NURBS circle. It'll come here. I'll bring it up. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. Go to control vertex, pick up these center ones and scale them down. Okay, just to show that this is the left side, I can make these two sides go smaller. And this side I would make a bit bigger. Okay, so let me put it somewhere this area, and I'm going to put it somewhere behind the character so that it will be easy for us to select. So I'm going to push it out here. I can scale them out. Bring it closer. Okay, and the pivot point has to go to the center. I can also press D key as a shortcut and I can snap it there. Okay. Okay, so let's get rid of all these controls. Modify, freeze transformations, edit, delete by type, history. Okay, let's give a name. This is going to be called CC left shoulder. Okay, and for this control I forgot to give name. This is called CC left hand. Okay, so all the 4 controls are ready. Now we just have to do some connections. So first things first, this hand is going to basically do 2 things. It's going to rotate up and down, left and right, and it's going to move also. Now the movement would happen, or control will be controlled by the other joints above. So what I can do is create a constraint to just control the rotation. So I'll select the parent, that is the control, and shift select the joint. Joint is not getting selected because I've turned this off. I'll turn it on, select it, go to constraint and choose orient constraint. So what this basically does is whenever I rotate the joint, the control, it would also rotate the joint. Okay, that's good. Now I'll have to do the same job here. So I'll select this, shift select this, and I'll choose constraint, orient constraint. And that would do the exact same thing. Now especially for this kind of this control, we just have to rotate in one single axis, that is Y axis. So we can just ignore the other axes. Now you might find a small problem that the other hand is going away, which we can fix by parenting this one to this one. So I select the child and the parent and hit P. So now you can see when I rotate this, that joint also move along. Okay, that's good. I'll do the same thing here. Select this and shift select this, parent child, constraint, orient constraint. Now sometimes when you do orient constraint, if it is not working the way it is working for me, you'll have to turn on this maintain offset. What it basically does is if you turn this off, it will try to give the same exact orientation of the controller to the joint. So if it is not working, turn this on and then try, it should work. Okay, so I'll hit add, and now it should rotate them, and I'll have to make this to be a child of this P. Let's try again. Okay, the whole hand is moving together. Okay, that looks nice. Okay, now for the shoulder, we will create an IK handle from the shoulder joint to the arm joint so that we can control them vertically lifting up and down. So let's go ahead and choose skeleton, IK handle tool, go to options, make sure that it is SC solver, or you can reset the tool, close that, and come down here from the shoulder. We will create an IK handle to the arm. So this will help us to lift the arm or to make the shoulder go up and down. And you should be careful while doing this. If you have accidentally turned on your point snap or some other snap, it may not give you the result that you want. So make sure that you turn off all the snaps, and then you can experiment that out. Okay, now I will control this IK handle with the help of this shoulder control. So all I have to do is select the IK handle, shift select the shoulder control, and press P. So that will turn it off. So now I can use the shoulder control to control the IK handle. And one last step, I have to make the hand, the arm control, to be the child of the shoulder control. So now the shoulder helps you to lift up the arm, and the next joint will make us move the arm and the elbow and the hand. Let's go ahead and turn on the geometry, and I'm just going to make a simple skinning just to check how this result comes out. I'll select the joint, shift select the mesh, go to skin, bind skin, smooth bind. So now you can see that the character is controlling. Okay, good enough. Left and right. Okay, and let's go ahead and check this out. The hand should rotate. Okay, that's fine. Select the next one. Okay, the whole thing is coming together. That's fine. And here again, you're able to bring it down, move it forward, backward. Good enough. So along with that, let's try to rotate this, and let's try to rotate this. Okay, that's fair. That's wonderful. And let's try this shoulder control, moving up and down. Okay, we're able to move the shoulders. You might find some small problems which we will have to fix while we work on the skinning. So this is just a test for skinning. This is not the actual final. Okay, we're able to lift the shoulder. Let's check that when we go to another axis. Okay, so let's try to push this up again. Okay, so yeah, that's good enough for shoulder. Okay, so I'll just detach the skinning that I did. Detach skin. Okay, so that is basically the hand control. We can make a duplicate of all these controls to the other side, and we can do this rigging for the other hand also.